Yeah, I was obviously very disappointing. I've got to know Kevin really well on a personal note. He's been great support to me in my time as captain. So, from a personal point of view, I'm certainly sad to see him go, and I've sort of spoken to him and let him know that. I think that the support that he gave me behind the scenes was brilliant, and I couldn't thank him enough for that. So obviously it's disappointing for him that he's had to move on. He certainly had some areas that he was doing a terrific job. It was a very difficult time to be administering any sport. As we've seen, a lot of guys have lost jobs from the CEOs to people being laid off. So it's a difficult time for everyone. And I think, from Kevin in particular, one of the reasons I did want to ring him is because it was reported a few times that, he had a poor relationship with players, and he certainly didn't. Kevin was well liked and well respected amongst our playing group. I think it was important that was that he let that know. So I was disappointed with some of the reporting of that in the media. Yeah, again, look, I spoke to our playing group 2 weeks ago and said actually the opposite. I said I was really proud of the way our playing group in particular has handled the last few months. There's been some indiscretions, if you like, from some athletes in other sporting codes, and we've spoken a lot about the way we want to behave as an Australian cricket team. And I think our behaviour as a group of contracted cricketers in the last 3 or 4 months has been outstanding. And again, with the negotiation that's going on behind the scene, everything that I've been involved in that has been the same. There's been rumours and media talk about arguing and disagreements and fighting. As I said before, it's a negotiation. It happens a lot. It'll continue to happen. And everyone that I've certainly spoken to has got the game at the forefront of their thoughts. And as I've said before, we want the game, make sure the game continues long into the future in a really healthy state. And the players, the ACA and Cricket Australia, all three parties are really strong on that. Something that we're going to have to deal with. The rules have been changed, whether you like them or not. It is what it is. So everyone's on the same playing field. They apply to everyone. So again, being able to adapt to that the quickest. What I do know is that whether you have a replacement player or you can shine the ball, it's irrelevant if you're not playing well and delivering your skills. So again, we'll focus on what we can control, which is playing as well as we possibly can. And again, we're going to have to adapt and roll with rule changes, because we're in an interesting time to be living, let alone playing international cricket. Well, probably me. I'm probably the only one in the last few years that's played in front of empty houses. I was doing it a lot in club cricket and Shield cricket 2 or 3 years ago. So, but no, look, I don't think it will affect anyone. It shouldn't affect anyone. I think once you get out there, even in front of big crowds, it very quickly narrows down to what's happening on the pitch. So, whilst it can be a distraction, for those first few balls when you're out there, I find most players tend to forget the crowd once you're in the heat of the battle. So, crowd or no crowd, again, it's going to come down to who's performing and executing their skills better. And, I said it in England, the crowd's irrelevant when it's bat versus ball in the middle. Yeah, look, I'm not too fussed. I think, both of those wickets are excellent test wickets. I think the Gabba has been for a very, very long time. And, you only have to look back to the last time we played a test match against India at the Perth Stadium. I thought that was one of the great test matches to watch. So, given both sides' pace attacks, I think either of those will be enthralling for spectators and television audiences to watch. So they're both exciting prospects. But yeah, that decision's out of my hands, that's for sure. Well, I was hoping you might be able to help me with that, to be honest. Yeah, we certainly struggled a little bit last time, but sometimes you got to give some credit. And, they played very well, but look, I won't go into detail, but I'm sure that we've learned a lot from playing against them last summer. We think we're a better team now than we were then, and again, a lot of the time in that last series, we didn't get enough runs on the board to put them under any pressure. So as good as our attack is, you still need to be scoring enough runs to win test matches. And we didn't score a lot of runs in that test series, and weren't miles away. So we just feel if we can get some scoreboard pressure on and score the runs that we know we need to score to win test matches, that our bowling attack doesn't let us down. I don't know enough about either, to be honest. As a fan, I'd love to see them both go ahead. I'd love to see a World Cup in Australia. It'd be a great spectacle. But yeah, again, that's something for people that are, that's not my job to decide what's going to go ahead. There's plenty of water to go under the bridge for both of those. But for me, being an international cricketer, obviously we'd like to see as much cricket back being played as possible and as soon as possible.